to talk more about it. Good morning to you once again, Leland. So one thing that you and Nikki Haley talked about were the results in Iowa and the indicators that she sees there. I want to play a portion of that for folks at home.
Donald Trump only won with 1.5% of the vote in Iowa. 56,000 people voted for him out of a state of 3 million. That's not representative of the country. And you've got the political class saying, oh, it's him, it's got to be him. No, this is not a coronation.
Leland, is there truth to that, or is that wishful thinking from the Haley camp?
Well, both, really. There is truth that this shouldn't be a coronation. It should be an election. There's also truth to the fact that if you lose in New Hampshire as Nikki Haley, you have to provide a clear reason why you're going to win somewhere else. As we've talked about, New Hampshire's tailor-made for Nikki Haley. She's got the endorsement of the very popular governor who's running her re-election campaign. Independents can vote here, and there's a lot of them to offer a protest vote to Donald Trump. This is a tailor-made electorate for her. It's a blue state. They voted for Joe Biden so that there's people who would respond to her message. Plus, she's lived here for 11 months to make the case to New Hampshire voters. If she can't win here, where can she win? And that is going to be the question going forward. So, no, it's not fair to say you must win or get out. We as the media don't get to decide when you get out. That's basically up to the donors and the level of humiliation you're willing to endure. But it is our responsibility to say, okay, you've had this moment. If you can't prove your concept here in New Hampshire, where are you going to prove that you can beat Donald Trump to be the Republican nominee? Because that is what she has to do.
Yeah, that important road to Super Tuesday. You also talked to Nikki Haley about the possibility of a Kamala Harris presidency. I want to share what she said on that.
Joe Biden has been terrible in every respect, from continuing that spending that Donald Trump started, to the recklessness on the border, which is truly a dereliction of duty, to the fact that he's put his head in the sand on every enemy that's tried to hurt us, and instead of preventing wars, he's the one that's ignited wars around the world. So it's been a mistake. And keep in mind, we don't want a Kamala Harris for president. That's why I'm doing this, because if you look in the general election polls, Biden and Trump are head to head. We will lose, and we will have a President Kamala Harris. I defeat Biden in every one of those polls.
Leland, is this a more critical question in this election than it has been because age is such a factor on the minds of many voters?
Sure, 100%, especially when it comes to Joe Biden. This is a very interesting strategy by Nikki Haley. She's trying to run a general election campaign in the primary. She's running against Donald Trump and Joe Biden. I sort of asked her about that in terms of how she's trying to combine them all into one, and then saying, and if Joe Biden gets elected because Donald Trump's going to lose, then basically you have Kamala Harris. Okay, fine. And the polling plays this out. She does much better in swing states against Joe Biden than Donald Trump does. That is unquestionably true. The Republican electorate, though, doesn't seem to care. And Trump's supporters, who are rabid in their support, who are willing to stand out for hours upon hours in the freezing cold to hear him speak, or for a chance to hear him speak, they don't care about the electability argument. They want somebody who is angry. They want somebody who is going to avenge their feelings of being left behind and their economic distress. The problem, I think, for Nikki Haley, if you're going to look at this campaign, is she can tell you a lot about what she's against and how she's going to fix things Joe Biden did and not be Donald Trump. She doesn't really articulate an aspirational message of what she is for, and that's hard. You know, Donald Trump, for whatever you think of him, had tapped into an anger and an emotion in people that he was able to capture, both in 2016 and 2020, and again today. Nikki Haley has tapped into an emotion of people who don't like Donald Trump. That's what we always heard from her supporters. But we haven't found a lot of supporters who were excited about Nikki Haley. And I think if you're going to look tonight, if she gets over the mark and beats Donald Trump or gets very close, it's going to be because that protest vote against Donald Trump was a lot larger than we estimated, especially down south of where I am in the bedroom communities of Boston, southern New Hampshire, with suburban women who who wouldn't normally vote in a Republican primary, Marni.
Yep, and you have said in 2016 the pollsters underestimated the working class union voters, suburban women also in an important category, the show me, right? Show me what the future looks like. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.